Alrighty, welcome everyone. It's been a while, but I am pleased to announce that it is finally time to return to the journey beyond the journey. We are here for Season 2, Episode 1 of Frieren, one of the biggest name shows that has aired in the last ever, and I am so far beyond excited to continue it. We are off schedule today. Today is Friday, and this show is going to go on Tuesdays, but I spent much of this morning going through poll results and information gatherings from the wisdom of crowds, and you can find that video. It'll probably be the most recent video posted on the channel. And came to the conclusion that I want to cycle through some of the sequels that we have sort of waiting on the back burner. The main two that were in question were Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 and Frieren Season 2. And while I was inclined to watch both of them, I decided to get some more intel before going ahead and doing so. And what I have decided to do is cycle them through. So, the current next slot show for Tuesday is going to be Sousou no Frieren Season 2, and that's very exciting, and that's what we're here for right now. Friday will be taken up by a new poll with only single core shows in it, with the understanding that as soon as we have watched one of those, the next show on that slot will be Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, and after we have finished Frieren Season 2, there is a waiting poll that will occur immediately after for a more comedy show that actually better fits the slot a little bit, okay? That's the general game plan that I've come to, and I've also gathered a whole bunch of information about other shows floating around in the ether that people would be interested in watching, and I'm excited to do that. But right now, we have one thing to focus on, and that is re-entering the world of Frieren. I don't know how we're going to go about this. I don't know if we're going to like recap stuff and go slow through it, or if we're going to get right back into it and join our characters right where we left them, crossing the bridge away from the city where Fern has earned her first class mage. What do you call that? Her ranking? Something like that. She has earned it. She has won it, and Serie has given it to her. So, what does the journey hold for the characters of Frieren? No idea. No idea if we're going to start this off with some particular arc or something, or if it will be a return to exploring the wilderness, finding weird bits and bobs of magic, and making our way gradually northward, seeking out a place called heaven, a place where the spirits of the dead might still linger, and the chance for Frieren to reconnect to those she did not fully connect to in life, and overcome the regrets that are attached to that. I loved Frieren Season 1. I'm really hoping that Frieren Season 2 manages to equal up to its greatness. And I want to mention what I think that greatness is a little bit, because I don't think that it's the few episodes with incredible animation and crazy magic and insane action stuff. Although the capacity that Frieren has to jump from its sweet, peaceful, wandering, journeying, adventuring, exploration, discovery into high-tier combat awesomeness is definitely something that adds to the whole. But I would be fine with a season of 10 episodes without any of that. I would be fine if the best animation that we get is Stark putting on a jacket and Fern turning her head and her hair drifting in the wind. That's not really why I'm here. I'm here because this story is laden with intent, because it's about connection, because it's about people, because it's about meaning. And I don't think that it takes crazy animation to tell that story. It just takes clever storytelling and consistency. And Frieren Season 1 was nothing if not extraordinarily consistent and incredible at its storytelling. I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the future of it, and my expectations are rather high. I hope that it can meet them. I'm not worried. That's about it, y'all. I don't have that much to say here at the beginning. We're going to keep this relatively short, and I am going to transition into something that I've been doing for all of my videos for the last over a year now. I don't actually remember if I was doing this by the time that Frieren ended, but in the beginning of each video, I draw something. You can see some of them up here. Booyah. This was what I drew last time for Orb, and this was for Dan to Dan, and this was a different Orb, and this was the last one for Dungeon Meshi, and overall, I've been exploring pencil and pen and paper and trying to grow as an artist, grow in my capacity to convey things via ink and paper. And it's slow going, it's challenging, and it is worth getting up for in the morning, you know? It's something that I get to gradually improve at and continuously strive for and endeavor to get better at and learn in a creative kind of fluid and free way, and I really like it. It also helps me get my mind right for the show that I'm gonna watch, especially if I draw something that's relevant or connected to it, and I find it to be a very valuable practice. So I'm gonna pull down a camera and let you see what I'm drawing. I will speed this all up and put some music over it so that it's easy to watch through if you want to, and if you don't, you can just skip ahead a couple of minutes and get to the part where I talk about actually getting into the episode, and then we'll get into the episode. But I am going to draw. Oh, hello, co-pilot kitty cat. Hi, meow. Oh, you are moving the cat. Oh! This one's much more deformed, unfortunately, so I'll have to do it. This one is different because it's something else. Cool. Okay, I'm mostly very happy with this. I think it turned out really well. It's very simple. This is the frame of Frieren in the first core of the first season ED, when her face sort of appears made out of flowers and stuff, and we can see her eyes in it. I've always found that to be one of the most striking images of the whole show. There's just some intensity to it that's just incredible. The only thing that went even a little bit wrong here was that I used a blender to create this little highlight in the red gem, and that caused it to like bleed over the edge a little bit, and so there's a little fuddly bit, but it doesn't matter. It works out great. Just these eyes emerging from nothing. I would love to understand how to create a bunch of patterning and stuff around them so that the eyes are like emergent out of that instead of just being on a blank paper, but that seems to be way beyond me. I just wanted to do them and work on like the fine motor skills of drawing these lines out, and what do tattoo artists call it? Pulling a line, right? Where you're sort of pulling the ink across the page. It's hard to create those really smooth edges and like sharp points and stuff. So there's my drawing for the day, and we will have Frieren's piercing gaze watching over us. Nice. I'm just gonna darken the line around the iris on the other eye. There we go. All right, there's only one thing left to do, and that's watch episode 1 of season 2 of Frieren. Shake out the willies, and let's get to it. I've got episode 1 up and ready to go. I have gone and acquired the 9-volt subs for Frieren. If they end up being terrible, I would like to know that. From what I know, they should be the best translated subs and will make proper use of proper nouns like Zoltrak, which was a little bit of an issue in the first set. We'll see. Hopefully this is a good choice. Just making sure that I haven't fucked something up or forgotten something. Make sure all my recordings are going. Yep. Okay, I've got episode 1 of season 2 of Frieren up and ready to go, 9-volt version. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there. Subscribe while you're down there, and a timer-based version, which you're watching right now, which will have the discussion at the beginning and the end. Come back here if you go and watch the picture-in-picture version, because I'm going to have a lot to say about the episode, I'm sure, and we'll spend our time talking about it, going through it, looking at particular pieces of animation or art or lines or dialogue, and spending as much time as we need to break it down and feel like we've incorporated the whole thing. And that timer-based version will begin in a moment with a beep beep timer, which will go boop, 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 beep. And on the beep and the green light is the same frame synced up in post that the video starts playing on my screen. So if you smash your space bar at the same time that that beeps on your screen, then we will be all synced up and ready to go. Let's get into it. I'm so excited, y'all. Back to the world of Frieren. Beep beep timer. Oh, that's the same bridge. We're right where we were. I don't know. I don't know what that gravestone was to. Also, if I have forgotten things and I mess stuff up, please forgive me. We pick the briefcase back up. Hi, team. Yeah, let's. Oh, that was so smooth. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. Feel the smoothness in all the shadows as they like creep across their faces as she turns. Ooh. I want to shut the fuck up. I probably won't be able to, but I want to let the silence breathe. Mmm. It looks like we're right back to it. Just straight back to journeying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hmm? That's you, Fern! People respect you, dude! Ende. Hmm. What are these dandelions or little flowers? Nobi! Young Frieren? Those are the flowers from the spell, right? The one that Serie has been using? While claiming that she doesn't care? Jazzy. Blue petal. Oh, the blooming. Oh. Oh. Oh, that got me with the emotions. Why did that happen? Gathering petals. Okay. Okay, that is a powerful thematic through line, and it connects directly to season 1, but it's new too. It's now she's gathering up new flower petals. It's a change in perspective. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like at the brink of tears. That song was really interestingly composed. I don't know enough about songs to know, but it felt like a lot of effort to create that woomph. Hmm. Hmm. So is that a dick joke? Because the previous thing? Not rare for her to be head first, ass up, stuck in something. Hmm. For waking up early? They're training her. Ooh. Candy. Like, is it an anti-magic stone? Thaumaturgy, Bane, yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's test it. Can Frieren cast regardless? Like, if you're a powerful enough mage, can you do it? Or is it a full off? Dude, don't sell that shit. Are you kidding? Sugena. Right. Can we put it in a lead box? Can we drag it behind us on a string? Oh. Okay. That's it? Oh, fuck. It glows really intensely. I'm just gonna leave that behind. Some adventurer is gonna stumble upon it, be like, oh, the great glowing stone. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Onsen desu ka? Oh. Why are you an important creature? A path or tracks? A trap? A trap! Oh, right. We can fly. Oh, not an intentional trap. Oh, she can't do it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Wait, what's going on? There's more of the thumb stuff. Oh, it's a lot of it. All the money we could want, but none of the magic. Wow, what a cool place to be trapped in. That's bad. We have to climb out like humans. Hmm. Oh. So you just have to wait for the right chunk. You can break the rock around it, though, right? You're gonna get a Stark run. Oh my gosh. Where does it come from, I wonder? What a space. We're magicless, yeah. Yeah, you're the hero. Oh, endless memory. Oh, fun. Okay. I feel like this is so perfect for a reintroduction to the tone. We're just off to adventuring again and then caught up in randomness. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It reminds me of hex crawling instead of like arranged dungeoneering. Actually, I want to talk about that. Yeah, does something live down here? Is she scared? Yeah. I think she has a lot of faith in you, Stark. It's an adventure. Oh. This is where you try to comfort her. This is an opportunity, Stark. Or not. Or not. What are you? Hello. Oh, 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 oh. Full trust. That's badass. It's just like with the dragon. She knew. Complete faith. Oh, that's just a story you tell about yourself. Oh, we're blinding it. It's got a lot of eyes. Oh, and we cut to. Oh, past. Okay, so this is something that she's learned. That's crazy, man. Hmm. Wow. Ooh, might be time. Oi, oi. Let's freaking go. Ah, I think it's time. Running time. And that made a huge impact. And now we've got our vanguard carrying us. Holy shit. Trust. But what does that trust do to him? What does it change in Stark? What did it change in her? And change in Isen? It affects people when you trust them. It calls them to be trusted and trustworthy, to live up to it. Wow, fuck. That's fair, my guy. They find a hot spring? Ooh, fishing time. I can see something lining up here. I hope I'm wrong. I believe Stark. Oh, I'm not entirely wrong. They found some water. I thought we were going to do an accidentally catch the female character bathing at the waterfront sort of scene. Mm. She's caring for them. They remind me of the flower petals. Mmm. Hmm. Hmm. She knows you. Aw. So it is the scene, but not the. Yeah, that's a great way to play it. I love it. Itchy. Floof. No fish, huh? I'm thinking about the tension between them. No, no. Ah! Ah! What, where Fern gets mad at you? So it's a little more complicated than that. Mmm. It's an extension of the running away thing, right? Neutral harbor? Wake. Neutral. WG. Oh, hi guys. What's up? Are they? Good thing we're headed there. Okay, cool. I wonder if we'll run into a number of the others from the. Yeah, we met a bunch of powerful people. Ancient. I don't remember what that was. Yeah, if we know about that, I don't know. We need fighters. Yeah, we need a fighter too. I got a job. Alright, just don't try anything funky. Yeah, the whatever I can part makes you feel like you're gonna do something funky, my guy. Full faith. Complete trust. But but Fern doesn't want him to actually leave. She doesn't actually dislike him. Oh, this is clever. Oh no! Oh no, the misinterpretation. Fern? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty purple haired girl. I'm joking. Yeah. Yeah, you were really stuck, dude. She showed you a way forward. Oh, it was what Fern said. It was always you, Fern. This is really cool how we're rebuilding the bonds between the characters in this episode. It's like the most important thing, right? And that's what she wanted. She was afraid he would leave. He does not get why she's so mean to him. That was not what he meant. It's very cute. Mmm. Precious things. And another precious thing. Oh, she was seeing that too. Oh. The things we do for each other matter. Nah, see ya, Verbel. So many less spells to find. Yeah, and we've got to follow in those footsteps. You're damn right. Oh, wasn't that the line at the end of the last episode? I really like that. It's the second time it happened in the episode. The lens flare. Ooh, okay. He's writing? Yeah. This colored pencil animation is pretty stunning. Is this all one artist? Ha 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 ha. Butterfly wings, huh? As though she's becoming. Whoa. Oh my god, that's insane. That's insane. Who is? Who's the hero of the South? Who that be? I don't know. Exciting, exciting. Okay, I think this was a wonderful way to do a first episode of a new core, or of a new season. It feels to me like our focus is in getting right back into it with no interruption. And having glanced at the very end of the last episode, that is precisely what we do. We pan over that exact bridge and we open up on that exact bridge. Now, this makes sense because you're adapting a manga and there isn't really like a big break point. It's not like end of the book and on to book 2. And we don't have like a new beginning with a new set of storylines and stuff. It's just a continuation of the same storyline. But what that does for the flow and the feel, it brings me right back to it. And I think that the way that the first couple minutes of this episode are structured is to really facilitate that bringing me right back into it. That sort of remember this world, remember the characters, remember the meaning, remember the things that are important. Let's focus on those and make sure that they're right back in your memory so that as we move forward and begin expanding once more, you're not left behind. I do not feel left behind at all. I did do some effort to like make sure that I was a little up on the last things that had happened with Serie and Frieren and Fern and like the Great Mage Flamme and all of those little intricate aspects. But I knew that there was a bunch of stuff that I was going to be missing, and so I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be able to catch right up to speed. The show did it for me. Bam, we're up to speed. And then the story beats that we actually hit are like, we're back to wandering adventure, finding random stuff. And I want to talk about that in sort of the context of hex crawling, or a certain style of running a game, running an adventure that I find really cool and have only recently started to actually engage in, as I've begun DMing a new campaign. And I think I want to talk about that in contrast with something like Dungeon Meshi. I think that will be really cool. But we jump back into this. We can go anywhere and do anything, and the stakes are low. The biggest stakes for a big portion of the episode are finding unique things that are interesting, and maybe we can bring them with us, maybe we can't. Stumbling upon stuff, finding food. That's like all that really like matters in the episode. But under the surface of that is connection between our characters, complete trust and faith, and what that does for a party, for a team, like what putting your faith in somebody else does to them, how that affects and changes them. Stark's place in things, and because we question Stark's place in things, we sort of do like a check, like a test. Are the bonds that make up our party still strong? And do you remember what they were? Let's go through and make sure that they're all still strong there. So we reaffirm the bond between Frieren and Stark. We reaffirm eventually the bond between Stark and Fern. And through their connection and communication and there not being a problem with it, we reaffirm the solidity of the connection between Fern and Frieren. And overall, it feels like we have like everybody has taken their vows once again, almost, right? It's like, okay, we're back to the party. And something that I think really contributes to that, I'm going to go back to the last episode of the previous season to make sure that it's correct. The very last line that Frieren says, like, well, let's be off. Soreja ikoka. Let's pull it open. No, you know what? I don't think she does. We meet these two, and we give a see ya, sort of a goodbye, but she never says soreja ikoka. You really do goodbyes casually, and then Himmel's answer to that is we may meet him again along our journey, so there's no need for like a formal goodbye. But I thought that there was more of a parallel, and there isn't, and that's totally okay. Still, it feels to me like we end at the same place that we started, heading off into further adventure, but with a new sense of how the party works together and a new sense of stability and strength between them. I really like it. Okay, let's go through it. Opening, big wide shot, familiar location, music hits. Not sure what this is. That's okay. It's the first thing that I noticed about season 1 of Frieren, and it is, I think, very important that it is the first thing that I notice about Frieren season 2. We take our time. We're willing to spend precious introductory seconds, not on our characters, not on the next plot point, not on the journey or telling us a recap or showing us a map of where they're going to go or any of those things. That's not what matters. We spend that time on atmosphere and tone and nature and the surroundings. A little bit of music, burbling streams, the road that goes on up over the hill, picking up the briefcase and setting off. All of it detailed, all of it careful, all of it sort of slow and methodical and not hurried, not rushed, just taking its time, confident. It feels fucking ballsy. It feels so confident. It's like, we know that you're gonna watch this. We don't need to put spice in it. We don't need to put lots of flair and lots of craziness. You know that this is Frieren. It's back. Welcome back. And I feel welcomed back. This scene strikes me as really beautiful just because there's such an emphasis on the way that the shadows turn as their heads turn very slightly. It's truly, it feels like Frieren is speaking directly to us, the audience. Well, let's go then. And she's looking right at us. Here's our squad looking right at us, inviting us to come along on this journey with them. They all turn and welcome us further forward, and we leave this past behind. Beautiful. Simple. So simple. Frieren is not going crazy. We're not trying to go hard here, right? Even in the parts of the episode where we do go hard, they're beautiful. There's some interesting action. There's some cool stuff. And all of it sort of occurs and then folds back into plot and characterization and the important stuff. Okay, here's the first of those lens flares. I think they're distinct hand-drawn situations. The little Canada light bubble situations there. I like them. I like them. And we're back to casual small talk. What a nice day. But hey, we're going to need to get some money. The detail on her hand around these coins. And in the next frame, which is much wider, where she's still counting them just perfectly. It's awesome. How do I put it? It's not that any one individual one of these cuts is mind-blowing, yeah? It's all of them together, all of the willingness to spend time and effort and energy on intricacy and detail, when in truth, a wider, blurrier shot would suffice. It would be fine. It would be enough. But that's not what we're trying to accomplish. We're not trying to make a piece of art that just says the thing that it says. We want it to be compelling while it says that. We want it to be interesting. We want to be watching it. We want to be amazed by it. And the staff have done that. They just continue to do that. They try to make it beautiful. And I really appreciate that. It's the kind of difference that makes a show stand the test of time. Because there's all this effort and all of this energy poured into it, and it becomes a source of that. It's almost, in a strange way, it's like the crystal that we have here. You pour a bunch of mana into it, and then it keeps glowing for a long, long time. We don't know how long the crystals will glow here, and we don't know how long Frieren will glow into the future, but when it comes to shows that have a lot of effort and a lot of emphasis and a lot of beauty to them, they stand the test of time a lot better. And I think that people in 20 years will still be bringing up Frieren and recommending it as a core show that needs to be watched as part of the history of animation. And I don't think that would be the case if that effort was not put into it. To me, it speaks to something that's kind of close to some of the themes of Frieren itself, which is that it's worth putting the effort in. If you're going to do something, do it well. If you're going to be a friend, make it a good friendship. And if you're going to buy a gift, make sure it's a gift that matters, because it matters, because people cherish those things, because it changes people, because the way that you interact and the way that you trust and the way that you form friendships changes people and has resounding impacts on into the distant future, potentially long after you're fucking dead, after there's nothing left of you but statues and flowers. Maybe the works that you have produced will continue to impact the world, but if you just sort of half-ass it, it's probably not going to do it. Probably not going to do the trick. Might be worth putting your whole effort into something. And it feels like Frieren has its whole effort, has the whole effort of many, many people put into it. In order to travel far without issue, one must make plans far in advance. Good advice in general, but it feels like it's got a greater thematic weight to it. but I'm not exactly sure what yet. Hope we get some good quests. And then she goes, wait, haven't I? We see these two little flowers. What was that? I don't know. Is it that she's been here before? I'm not sure. There's this line from the old guy is interesting. I must say, to someone like me who's lived in the region I was born in for my entire life, the journey to Ende is vaster than I can imagine. It's beyond me. I wonder if how that interacts with the you have to plan ahead sort of situation. Because, like, how can you plan ahead for a journey that you can barely even imagine? But Frieren can imagine it. She's done it. But how did they plan for it the first time? They kind of didn't, did they? They kind of just rolled with it. So then we have the blowing flowers again. She smiles as though she's satisfied by something. I suppose so. And we move into the first time we get to see this OP. I wonder what that haven't I before from Frieren means. When we arrive at the end, what will I convey? What is it that I'm driven to say to you through time and space, across the bound of death? What could I say to keep your tears at bay? So Frieren is in a field of flowers, and they're the white flowers that Serie has planted, and the ones that were Flamme's magic, collecting her first petal, right? The things you said to me so long ago sting my beating heart with all the warmth I'm holding true. Take that petal, the glow of it, and she holds it close to herself as the others float around her, almost like lives or years or, yeah, lifespans is what it reads as to me, because she's clutching on to this one lifespan, this one person. To me, the first one is Flamme, right? And then, bam. This is where we get the first turn in the song, right? Yeah. It's not as if I'm short on time. I've got all the time in the world to learn, and I never could be short on time. I'll never forget. Is this where we do the jump, 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 jump? Yeah. I think this is really fun to put these on the little intonations of ah. And they're all in the past, right? Yeah. Okay. City, forest, volcanic, mountains, the end though. And bam. I'll never forget, but you seem more distant each day. Still journeying onward, but these flashes feel like they're further away. Gosh, it's cool. And this time it's through their lifespans, right up to the funeral. And that's when she stops. Like she was walking, and then this stops her. This changes her course, is how I'm reading it. Now she's stuck, alone, and it's his petal that drops. One blue petal. And looking at it, all the flowers in the world, it feels like, emerge around her. Everything blooms. The wreath that he placed upon her head is there. Bam. And then her eyes are opened. Boom. Awakening, right? Like as though she was asleep or focused on something particular, and now the world opens up. But it's the future world, right? Because it took all this time to realize it, and now we're on another journey, and they're ushering her forward. They're, come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. The like sketchy backgrounds add texture. The petals flying around make it feel, I don't know, if it, like a wedding, wedding photos. You got flower petals up in the air and stuff. It's magical. It feels magical. Lulu by Mrs. Green Apple. In the time that's bound to come when winds of compassion fill the land. Everything moves. Gosh. Who's that? I don't know. None can see perfectly what will have changed and what will still be. Bunch of things that look like they're in our future. Petals keep drifting through. There's a place that you can call home, for everyone's equally born of this world. We're all of this world. Face, face. Again, these welcoming, smiling faces, this like connection and joy and care for each other. And then Frieren in the center of it smiles widely, and she's collected a group of petals. It's 4 now, and we can call them Flame, Himmel, Fern, and Stark if we want to. Although I don't know the association between a particular white petal and Fern or Stark, or a particular yellow petal, but she has 4 petals now. 4 precious people. And then that seems to me to resonate really strongly with what we talk about with Fern around these precious objects that she's holding on to. Frieren doesn't so much gather objects, but she's gathering memories. She's gathering something else. And she's holding on to something precious too. Everyone's equally born of this world. Those words are a pact all take as fact. Full of warmth, we are holding true. She embraces her companions, and we go off into the light. Whoosh! And that's our OP. I think it's a great one. I'm really looking forward to seeing it again. The marshes! The fishes. No fishies for you. I really like the emphasis placed on the basics of traveling. Getting a ride with a guy in a cart, finding food for the day, ending up eating vegetable stew for like the 8th time this week. Yes, 8 times this week. The next one will be, yeah, see, there's something about this scene is like, we had the joke where she saw his dick through his clothes and called him tiny, which I think is canonically a lie. I think, but I'm not sure. Or it's canonical that, what's his face was hung as fuck. Either way. There's like a direct, I don't know, it feels like a dumb joke. I'm positive it's around here. So was this left here or stored here or something? Did you praise her? The party dynamics are like immediately brought back to me. The interactions between these characters and where their centers are, where their emotional cores are immediately brought back to me. And I think that's a testament to how strongly written they are in the first place. And then to the way that this episode's structure sort of like brings it right back. It's like falling in with old friends and you end up picking up the phone and talking for hours and it's as though you've never left. It's been more than a year since we watched Frieren, but it feels like I never left. Now this is a big find. It's really pretty, but your magic doesn't work. Holy shit. But we can't even bring it with us. Here's this great treasure, and yet it's got a weird effect that prevents us from being able to carry it safely, so we're not going to. This is such an adventuring type of decision. It's so interesting to me because the classic is gather everything, put it in the backpack, take it with you. You have infinite inventory space. It doesn't even matter. Put it in the bag of holding. Take it. We're taking it. It's worth money. It's coming with us. It doesn't matter if it's fucking chunks of stone or pounds and pounds of coal. If it's worth a copper piece, we're taking it the fuck out of this dungeon to town and making money out of it. That's the classic adventure-y sort of thing. But if you can't, you just get into catch-22. You can't bring it with you. You're stuck. The one that I'm reminded of is like, wow, we found this huge room full of gold coins, and each of us can carry about 300 of them. There are thousands and thousands, millions and millions, so much money, and we literally can't carry it out of here. The system that I'm currently running is Shadow Dark, and it's got a really strong emphasis on weights, like gear slots, how much you can carry, and it creates a totally different game, a totally different set of like limitations on the characters. Like a core limitation, how deep can you go in the dungeon? It's determined by how much light you can carry with you. How many torches, how many flasks of oil, how many lanterns, how many candles can you carry with you? Because once those start running out, you're going to end up in darkness. And those gear slots get freed up as you burn them away, and then you can replace those with the treasures that you get, but you got to manage it pretty carefully because you might not have enough light to get out. Yikes. That sort of trade-off, I think, is really fun and makes it feel much more real. We run into problems like this all the time. You'd love to take this opportunity, but doing so means giving up something else or causing harm in some other way, so you can't. It's just the way it is. It's a cool, fucking awesome, super powerful magic crystal. Honestly, it sounds like an amazing trump card to keep in your back pocket against another mage, right? Let's start carrying it a few feet away from us, and then if we end up having to fight some mages like that dude who approached Frieren and was like, I'm going to prove that I'm worthy by killing you, and Syrie will remember me forever. We'd just be like, cool, have a rock. Rock! Just chuck a stone at him like we're in the fucking safari zone, and maybe it'll work. But we can't bring it with us. I would have loved to try. I think that would have been really fun. Like, we tie it onto a rope and dangle it way behind the party and drag it along with us. It would be really fun. But that's not the point of this scene. The point of the scene isn't clear yet, because the point of the scene is to introduce us to the fact that this material exists and is naturally occurring in this area. So that we can fall into a giant pit of it and completely change the power dynamics of the party and see what shakes out in their internal dynamics, their emotional dynamics because of that. It's really brilliant. I think it's really smart. Get rid of it. But hey, you put a bunch of mana into it. She's so excited to show them this, to share. That's really cool. The white on black into black on white. That's really cool. And the sort of flow and reshaping of her face. That's super cool. Wow, so glowy. Whoa. So we just leave an overwhelming beacon of LED light just glowing in the forest over there. Great. Good. Planning ahead, a large forest, a volcanic area. Dangerous. Nah, it's fine. There are hot springs. Then, okay, I think this is really cool. Our attention gets drawn by the squirrel. It's like, what are you? It runs away. Okay, cool. But it distracts us just long enough for us to walk just far enough. Whew, collapse. Something about placing the squirrel in there makes us focus in. It makes me wary that there's a trap. Because like that, okay, let's pull it. The first scene where we see the squirrel. We're walking, squirrel jumps. I would almost expect the next frame to be a net trap, and pulls the squirrel up into the sky. That's how it feels to me. It's like, oh! But nothing untoward happens. It's not an intentional trap, but we still fall into it. This is really cool. We can do anything with magic unless our magic is prevented from working. And now Stark is by far the most powerful member of our party. This is a really cool space. I like caves. I think they're one of the most mystical and strange things in our world. It's really weird what water running under the surface of the earth creates, the kinds of caverns and stuff. And I spent some time studying caves for my own understanding of how to design caves, right? Because lots of D&D dungeons and caves and caverns and stuff are basically block rooms with block hallways going to other block rooms with block hallways, and I wanted to be a little bit more funky than that. Caves are like multi-interconnected, and I read a thing about caves, and one of the lines in it, I won't find it exactly, but it really struck me as interesting. Caves are not made for people. They're not made by any sort of human logic. You can go through an incredibly tight chasm, an incredibly tight passage that suddenly opens up into a wide open space full of water and giant stalactites and stalagmites and stuff, and then shifts down into an underground river, and then a series of weird bubble caverns, and all sorts of crazy stuff happens because caves don't function by logic. They function by flow. They function by the flow of liquid, by the flow of air, by the flow of things, and by the like differences in hardness between different rocks and different things, and by the sedimentation that's laid down, and they're created over huge stretches of time into these very strange spaces that are deeply alien to us. So I really like caves, and this feels like a really cool alien cave. These giant crystals that it turns out we cannot break, cannot magically process, because it's literally immune to magic. I wonder if anybody is like utilizing this, right? Because let's say you're a party that are not mages. It seems like a great idea to put a chunk of this Thaumbane in like the hilt of your sword, right? Or to make arrows with little bits of Thaumbane in the shaft or attached to them near the thing. It's like, oh, there are a bunch of mages shooting at us. Not anymore. All I had to do was shoot an arrow near them. Now their magic doesn't work. Would like an arrow with a bit of Thaumbane on it pierce defense magic? I don't fucking know. It feels like exactly what you would want to do. I wonder if there's an organization of people who are doing that, who all have like Thaumbane swords and stuff and are like anti-mages. That would be really fucking cool. It's exactly what I would expect from a world like this, where magic is like, magic can do almost anything. If you're a non-magic user, you need some chi use. You need to be a Avatar: The Last Airbender style. Turn them off. I don't know. This is fun. Stark takes a crack at it, even though Frieren has told him it's futile, and causes a mini nuclear bomb, and causes no damage to the damn thing. Not even a little bit. We can't climb back up, so let's find a new way out. I like the way that the light from the crystals changes the tone of everything. Everything's got this blue tint to it. And this space feels like a new adventure, right? That we've just fallen into. Looking at Stark. What? We're relying on you. Without the magic, we're just normal girls. Girls? He doesn't... This is interesting. I wonder why he responds this way. It's clear that he doesn't really think of them as girls, especially Frieren. But he certainly never thinks of them as helpless. He thinks of them as better than him. He follows them. It's interesting. the damned hag. I love the little montagey moments of like jumping over the thing, finding weird mushrooms, coming across a bunch of bones. Wow. Like an enormous geode of glowing crystal. Wow. So that first "we're relying on you" sets up the connection between Frieren and Stark that is a huge core of this episode. And this scene, this intimate scene, and then the quiet intimate scene where Fern speaks to Stark a little bit later, reestablish their bond. Fern's really worried. She's really scared. She goes through why. Doesn't know why she can sleep, but we do. We do. She trusts. Completely. Without question. Even here, she looks like she's having fun. Her attitude is so different. It's an adventure. And it's a novel one, right? To be without magic and in danger? Fun. But not for Fern. Fern's a girl. And I mean like a human person, right? And also still fairly close to being a child. I don't mean like she's a girl derogatory, right? I just mean she's young. She has not experienced something like this, and she's not as confident in their certainty of their survival. This layer that she can't even use mana detection is interesting too, because she learned that skill so young. It's been a constant part of who she is and how she literally sees and experiences the world. So without it, she must feel blind. And that's exactly what she says, like she's been plunged into darkness. There's an intimacy to these shots as Stark looks at her and is so close. This is an opportunity to co-regulate, whatever that looks like. Like, it's unclear to both of these characters where their relationship is. Like, you don't want to be too intimate or too familiar, but this is an opportunity to co-regulate. She's presenting and expressing her fears and her true vulnerability in this moment, and it's an opportunity for Stark to hear and see her and be there and be stable in this moment. But he doesn't completely believe in himself either. It's only Frieren who has that confidence. Like, dropped into complete darkness. Fern! And then wham, bam, holy shit, what the fuck are you? I really like the smears on this tail as it comes through. It's literally all smears. I think it's neat. The slow wake up. A prime venom dragon. Holy fuck that. I really like this eye. Ooh, yeah. The from below eyelid that semi covers it, the way the center whoop, 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 all the little details of the highlights. I really like it. That's cool and creepy and bad. Bad. You were sleeping so peacefully. Why aren't you? Because I'm trusting you. You got it. It's just like completely blank, no fear around it, no emotion, complete trust. What does that do to Stark? I mean, it's scary, right? It's just like the village trusting him to take care of the dragon. It's scary because it's like, well, what if I'm actually not good enough? But you kind of have to try. When it's not just you and somebody else is genuinely relying on you and they genuinely believe that you can do it, especially somebody that you respect who has a lot of knowledge beyond you, says, like, you got this. I trust you. I believe. You can drive. You got it. Wow. It's an amazing gift to be trusted heavily. It's also a burden. It's a responsibility. But that's the point, right? So he turns back. I've been trusting you ever since I recruited you. That's what's necessary for a party to function. Without that, we would fall apart. But I don't trust myself. My identity is the guy who runs away. I'm not that guy. So was Ison's, and he didn't run away. Not unless we all ran away, right? Okay, it's not even that. It's different. It's better than that, isn't it? So is Ison. He also identified as somebody who ran away when push came to shove. And Himel's answer was, if you need to run away, tell us and we'll go with you. So instead of the classic almost machismo of like, running away is bad. Durr. It's I trust you beyond trusting you to be like fully trusting of your instincts. And if your instincts as our vanguard tell us run the fuck away, then we're all going. That's what it means to be a party. That feels really, really powerful to me. It's not. I trust that when push comes to shove, you actually won't run away, which is what it was with the dragon, because he just didn't know his strength, right? It's that if you need to run away, we trust you enough to actually listen. That's really cool. I want nothing more than to run away. Okay, then let's run. Boom. No problem, comes up with an option, throws the stone, throws the big booming glow, and we jump back to the past, where Ison asked Hemel. And this is the moment that created that moment. This is the seed that was planted and now it's blooming. How can you possibly trust me with your life? You can't say words like that so lightly. That's some serious shit, dude. And just smiles. And beyond that, I'm the runaway. I abandoned his village. I abandoned my village. I see. If you feel like running away, let's all run together. We're a party. And this, like, there's, he closes his eyes. Ison looks down and then looks up to see Hemel for real, right? Because he's in his own head, and now he looks eye to eye with Hemel, and he sees this guy who's trusting him. Wow. And then we get to see it actually play out in action, and it is action indeed. I like the cut of the like pillar collapsing. The fire looks really great. The smoke and stuff is cool, and the whole like solid color, all almost this pastel-y, orangey, whitey. I don't know what you would call this color. It's almost peach. Really neat. Makes us feel like this is definitely in the past, but whoa. Is that the dragon whose horn we went and got eventually? I don't know. Whoa. Ison like catches this beam on his axe. That's a cool cut. I really like this sort of sketchy, bricky background stuff. As he's healing her. Oh, he's healing her arm. And then Hemel is there. Frieren doesn't express anything. She's just there. He sees it. And Ison is there too. Whoosh. Wow. Time to run. Well, let's make a run for it. Ah! Frieren's eyes are open. She's seeing and integrating this. And now here we are playing it out again. And that complete trust has not failed her. I think what's really clever about this scene is that we don't show is that we don't show Fern looking back in this moment. We wait until after the other conversation to do that, to show Fern also experiencing that trust, and in the case of this romance that we're building under the surface, being picked up and carried to safety by Stark's big strong shoulders, you know? It's a little silly, but in the episode it doesn't feel silly at all. It feels important. It feels important, like she's following in Frieren's footsteps in some sense and learning the same thing firsthand. So here we are, this cloud of venomous fog behind us, and Frieren smiles. We're out. We're safe. That was pretty scary, but hey, doing this together is not so bad. And if you make a run for it with everybody, you don't have to deal with all the guilt and shame of abandoning people, right? It's a different thing. We've done some weird alchemy, and we've turned running away into a genuine option, as opposed to something to be totally afraid and ashamed of. An impossibility that's like against your pride. Now, fuck that. We do it together. So let's move on. Get back early. They are gone. This is the setup that I thought it would be, but it's not actually like nudity or anything like that. It's more an opportunity for Fern to be a little bit too harsh to Stark, you know? This sort of scene, I think, does the tying together of Frieren and Fern. The way that Fern takes care of Frieren, brushes her hair, bathes her, deals with the fact that she's basically a 5-year-old in the body of an infinity-year-old elf, etc. It's cute, but the real meat here is the way that she's caring for and washing and like carefully placing out these gifts that she's been given. The bracelet from Stark, and then the hairpiece from Frieren, and then the necklace in turn. Good, it's all clean now, and we get another one of those fun lens flares. You got that from Stark, right? Yeah. And also I cleaned the hair clip. You're always like this with all of your things, your staff too. You look so happy to take care of your belongings. They're precious to her. They were gifts. It's nice to have personal treasures again after having lost everything. So good. It reminds me of a bunch of the power of their connection and the moments that have really sold that and glued them together. Just rehashes them a little bit, brings it back up into memory. Oh, itchy. Okay. I'm not angry, she says, and then she's a little angry. And Frieren actually picks up on it. She's figured it out just a little bit. She's getting satire. She understands irony. Not quite. But she's beginning to pick up on tension in the air. Love it. And there's an inn. So we run into Virbel, and he throws a wrench in the works by once again trying to poach Stark. We need strong vanguards up there in the war. It'd be great if you could come and stabilize. Yeah, but I've already got a job. It's really interesting that he turns to Frieren and asks if she will allow him to continue doing this, to continue stealing his her party member. And her response has so many layers to it that we explore later that it's really interesting. My first impression was that she says, yeah, sure, because she's 100% confident that Stark will stay with them. But it turns out that she's not. She's actually worried that Stark isn't doing well in the party. And with her newfound 2% understanding of human nature and getting that there's some weird tension here between Stark and Fern, but not being able to really place it, she wants to make sure that she's not holding him to some mission that he doesn't actually want to be a part of. If he wants to run away and not as part of the party, she doesn't want to force him. It's interesting, but that's not at all what's going on. I can see why she would understand, why she would think that, though. And she's willing to give up a vanguard, something that she thinks she really needs. It's interesting. And we've just spent the episode expressing how much we need him, and yet we are willing to let him go. It's really interesting. A moment? Are you sure that you want to decline his offer? And Stark finally tells Fern why he joined. When they ran into him in the village, he was at the end. He didn't think he could defeat the dragon, and he couldn't live up to the expectations of the villagers to actually save and protect them, even though by his actions doing the training, he was actually protecting the village from the dragon in turn. But in his own mind, in his own state, he was fully at the end of his rope. Frieren thinks she recruited me forcibly, but she's not even the one who did it. You are. It was you looking down at me, looking at my hands, seeing the training, and saying, I don't think you'll run. And that's where we left him for that night, and he spent that night thinking about it. And when the day came, he showed up. But we didn't know that it was this line that, for Stark, made the difference. And now he tells us, in no uncertain terms, it was you, Fern. It was always you. That's why I joined, so I could travel with you. Frieren's not the only one who's been pulling this coward along. This line strikes me with such interesting irony, because it is not 5 minutes ago in the episode, maybe 10, when he was the one pulling them along literally. It's a give and take, man. It's what being a party is. Not going anywhere. And Fern, for all of her sort of stuck up, she smiles at this. She doesn't want him to go anywhere. Whatever her rational mind thinks about her relationship with Stark, her unconscious mind cares for him. And so we see that scene. Please be a little nicer. Don't pat my head. Freaked out. What a pain. And then as she places her objects down and looks down at that bracelet once more, we see that she was in the same position as Frieren, looking up over Stark's back at the face of a giant monster coming for her, with nothing that she can do except trust in him. And so she holds onto the bracelet she's given her as a connection to him. Even though she's in his arms, she holds onto the bracelet. And smiles. Precious people. So Fern is collecting her own precious people, yes? And in the ED, or in the OP, we show that Frieren is doing the same. And one has absolutely impacted the other, huh? No, we'll be going north. We'll be going by land. We have a journey in the footsteps of which we must follow. Maybe we'll end up taking an especially long way. I kind of hope so. Some beautiful little facial expressions and cuts like that one. Okay, enjoy your own adventure. You'll get there eventually. Maybe we'll meet again when you do. And that reminds me of Himel's final goodbye in the last season. Well then, let's go. And we're off up over the hill once more with a fun lens flare. And that's the end of our first episode. For a show about connecting across time, to create an episode 1 of its second season that makes me feel like no time has passed in between the watching of them at all, like I'm right back in the same flow of things, just continuing, is pretty impressive. And it feels like it's poignant, right on the money, related. Let's go through the ED a little bit. I wonder what he's writing here and if we will ever get the chance to read it. I can't like frame by frame the whole thing, but I must say that to draw all of this in what looks to me like colored pencils, it might be pastels, but I think it's colored pencils, and for it to be this sort of beautiful with clearly this many individual on paper hand done frames is just stunning. I imagine that there's probably like an Instagram post of the person who drew this putting all the frames of it out in front of them, and it's gotta be a whole lot of frames. It's an incredible amount of art. And I really like that they've done paper cut for these as well. It creates really distinct boundaries between objects. Like you can tell that the fire and these bottles in the background are all on one page, but Frieren is not. She's paper cut out and then placed onto it. I think it looks really cool and beautiful, and it enables these characters to move in really unique ways. And there's this constant shifting that's happening because in no one of these drawings will all the sketches of all the little bits of particulate of the colored pencil land in the same places. So the whole thing warps and moves and shifts almost as though it's time-lapse photography, almost as though everything is moving years and years in these moments that we see. It's the impression that it gives, and I really like it. And then it blows up into beautiful animation, beautiful moving shapes and objects. It's just kind of fucking incredible. Like, look at that. The light, whoa, wow. The hair. Oh, I see. Oh, wow, this is so interesting because I'm already on two shows that are fundamentally about passing the torch. Ashton Joe is hugely about a heart on fire and how that ignited heart like can touch other people. And Orb is hugely about passing down information and inspiration through time. Here we characterize Himmel's feather, his quill. It's the color of the flower petal as well, which I think is critically important. And it's Himmel's color, but it's the flower as well. And then it becomes a flame that lights Frieren's lantern, and that is the light that she carries to guide her way forward. And then from that light, the light is cast upon her body, and back behind her are ephemeral butterfly wings, as though she is still a chrysalis waiting to emerge, or as though she emerges in Himmel's light. That's clever. And then adventure. The world opens up and time really is passing quickly this time. Animals going by, the people down to the bones of the earth and the sedimentary layers, more time, geological time. And then we float and fly up above, oh gosh, the spatial like accuracy, I guess. I don't know. This creates a genuinely incredible feeling of space. Like we are a camera that is running a huge circle around Frieren while she's also spinning independently. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Incredibly impressive stuff. And there's the book. Reminds me of like the There and Back Again, A Hobbit's Tale. I would like to glance at Sakagaburu. Primarily for the ED, for information on who did that. I feel like I might have actually seen, they may have done some watercolor stuff in the previous season, and I might have seen another section of something that reminds me a lot of this that was all done in colored pencil. Okay. So I found, they're all listed under episode 29, but I also managed to find the whole ED. It has one credit, Mime Aume, and it's incredible. I want to see what else they have listed. Very similar colored pencil work with way less detail. This is from One Piece. And this is also from One Piece, but this is a portion that I think I've actually seen this because somebody showed it to me to show me some stuff that Vincent Chansard had done. I wonder if if Mime is responsible for like this portion, or maybe there's some more sketchy stuff in here. I don't know. Oh, maybe that ending thing. Oh, title card and Kuma by Aoume. Okay. So the sketchy portions. Cool. What an interesting artist. Totally unique style. Let's order score these and go through the top few. Big swing, big boom. Okay. That's Mayuko Kamitori. Part of the reason that I want to do this is because I want the names in my head. I want names of people who are immediately working on the show so that we can start connecting the dots between their different cuts and get a better understanding of who they are as animators and artists. Okay, we got free feet. Lots of little details and dappled lighting and careful character animation. Slipping the feet into the water and then the little dangly feet and faces. Yeah, that's lovely. This is Hiroyuki Kobashi, who did the one of Serie with her feet in the water. Yeah, okay. So same sorts of things all the way through. Cool. Daiki Harashina. Running, and expressions too. Cool. The other running, same. Cool. Artist unknown. Yeah, this moment when she pulls her hair to the side is really lovely. This wide shot, and then the intricate details around draping the string down and the facial expression and pulling it back and forth. Really beautiful. Kota Mori. This is all the fire stuff. It's the whole thing. Looks like it's the whole thing. The fire in the second and fourth cuts reminds me of Masami Ozone's work from The Big O. I gotta watch The Big O at some point. That brief smoke reminds me a little of Angel Kade's scene on Gachiakuta. That smoke FX is actually Kota's? I don't know. It does look very distinct from everything else in this cut. That smoke looks really special. And so does the fire that happens a moment later. This big... Either way, some really incredible motion throughout that. And that'll do for Sakakaburu. That'll do overall, huh? Easy peasy, another episode of Frieren. It is good to be back, everybody. It feels like no time at all has passed, as I said a little bit ago. I'm excited for even less time to pass between now and the next episode. So I will simply say thank you so much for watching this episode along with me. I hope that it was everything that you wanted it to be. I hope that you enjoyed the discussion and commentary and stuff. Leave any comments that you have in the comments portion. And if I got anything wrong or if these subs suck, please let me know. If I've forgotten anything that's really critical, or I've made mistakes about the way that characters are oriented and how things are going, let me know. I'm totally open to that. I want to make sure that I get the best understanding of this show as possible as we move through it, so that I can incorporate, integrate, and become more a part of its ideas, you know? I want to make them a part of me. It feels to me like if one were able to incorporate the ideas that are present in a show like Frieren, one would be one step closer to living a life worth living. And as somebody who endeavors to live a life worth living, that seems like a worthwhile pursuit to me. So I'm very glad to have you along for the journey. And we will find out what's over the next hill next week for Frieren. And yes, that should be on Tuesday, which will be just a few days from now. The schedule's a little wonk, but that's entirely okay. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time for the next one. Much love. Peace.